Welcome to the B2C Creative Media Day breakdown, specifically events. We love doing events around here because ultimately in this business, events are a great way to judge ROI, whether it be from the people who arrive at your event as you engage our services on the marketing campaign, or judging the ROI of an event after you are able to use our media to really get the recap distributed out to your audience. So these services typically come with a few different components. Of course, you have your pre-event planning, where not only are we helping you on a marketing strategy, but then even for event day, understanding where all the different players of our team are going to be, the different shot lists, and then how we plan to incorporate what we plan on doing into your marketing campaign, so you understand the impact of it all. Then we have event day, where we're capturing these keynote speakers, we're catching the panelists, we're even capturing vendor interviews on the floor, because your vendors, they are some of your customers. They just paid a higher ticket, so we want to make sure they get some additional visibility outside of their brand just being on the back of the banner, which is still great. Next, we want to make sure we get attendee testimonials, especially from your VIP guests, people who, by them being there, they have some influence within your niche. So getting them on camera talking about the ROI they got from the event, that's a process. It's manual labor. That's why we're here to do it. And sometimes event hosts, you can be so caught up in the event that you forget to do these small things that make your next event planning process, your next event sponsor recruiting process so much easier. And with this on-site interview station, there's other different things that we can be doing with it, which includes taking the speakers from the stage and getting some deeper context on some of the things that we're talking about. I love the speaker on stage content, whether that's us getting pictures or video B-roll, to using recaps and quick social media posts, but also it in its entirety as a long form concept is basically a podcast, and especially if done right for social media distribution wise on YouTube or Audible podcasts with SEO friendly captioning, you can definitely turn into a piece of digital real estate that can help generate leads and attraction for your brand. But we also like to have these deeper interview stations for some of those keynote speakers to come in and hammer home some of the points that they had. So that way now somebody who's viewing online, who's viewing these long form concepts, can then have additional digital assets that they can go dive into. So kind of setting up that pipeline all goes into the pre-event media day planning, as well as media day execution operations, making sure you have your camera set up, making sure you have the right equipment, the storage capacity. And then if you want to go into another service that we offer, which is event day live media, social media management, because when you have 300 to 1,000 people in the venue, tagging the event, commenting, you got people, the speakers, everybody's just having a full surge on your brand. You want to make sure that you don't miss a drop. This is just the most attention that you will get. And it's better than a paid ad campaign, because you already have the warmest, the most hottest of people. Because I always say, you can always judge a campaign based off of actual purchases online or in-person arrivals. And for you to have in-person arrivals all interacting with your brand, you want to make sure you have an assault force to help handle all of these different conversations. So event day social media management is an absolute must, especially if you don't have the bandwidth yourself to do it, because you also need to make sure that you are focused on shaking hands and kissing babies, because you need to make sure they love who you are. You're setting up your follow-up meetings and making sure that your team is also doing the same. So by bringing in some assistants like B2C Creative, we can make sure that you are all covered online, because not only are we doing this for our clients, but we're doing it for ourselves. I've been able to curate hundreds of events, been able to do hundreds of media campaigns, and we pretty much got this stuff down to a science, and we already have the team to do it, and we know how to onboard teams when we have bigger events that we need to tend to. So we've worked all the way up to conferences and been as low as just super intimate cocktail classes and business happy hour workshops. And one of the biggest things when it comes to curating all this media is making sure it stays organized, so that way that our clients can be able to access these media files at will in the future, because this type of content, it's going to be evergreen. It's going to live forever, and being able to go into a file folder, which has sometimes a terabyte of information, being able to go in and pick and choose what you need is a whole process in itself. So for my team, it could take a few hours to making sure that we have this very neatly organized, but we want to make sure that's just our way of showing hospitality to our clients. And I've been on the other side of this, and not having these things easily identifiable can sometimes deter you from having as extensive of a marketing campaign as you want, because I want to make sure that not only does this event go good, but your next event is even better, because this is something that needs to be an ascension process. Everything needs to be done right correctly today, so that way that your sponsors and your attendees can understand the value and invest in you in the future. So if that is you, please reach out to me. I'd love to sit down and talk about what an event day media strategy is for you, free of charge. And then we could talk about potential partnership onboarding, and where we can go from there. Because not only do we do event day media coverage, but we can help you with event day marketing. But we got to start somewhere. Let's start with media.